Hello Year 2, so today's video we're going to be looking a bit more at place value within 20. Now the activities you should have been doing this week have been based around place value and looking at that in different ways, and today we're going to look at place value within 20 using Dean's, but then putting that onto the part whole model. So to start with, we have the number 11. So to begin with, I want you to think about how you would make the number 11 using Dean's. Now if you haven't got Dean's or similar objects at home, you can write it down. So we know how we would draw our Dean's. We would use the stick, the line for the stick of 10, and the dot for the 1. Okay, so if I was to make 11 with our Dean's, I would have one stick of 10. As you can see, it's separated into 10 parts, and we'd be using one of our ones. So the way you should have drawn that is one stick of 10 and a 1. Okay, so there we have our 11. Now when we're looking at the part whole model, we know that our whole is at the top, and then in these circles here we have our two parts. Okay, so when we're looking at place value, we can split up that number into the parts, and we're splitting it into 10s and 1s. So our whole number here is 11. In this top circle here we would have the number 11. Now part of that is 10 and the other part is our 1. So as you can see, we've split that 11 into our 10s and our 1s. So if we were writing that on here, part here would be 10 and our part on the other side would be our 1. Okay, so the next number I want you to have a go at yourself. So we have the number 16. So I want you to pause the video. I want you to draw 16 in Dean's, and then I want you to have a go at putting it into the part whole model. Okay, you should have paused that now and you should have had a go yourself. So when we're splitting our 16, we're looking at the 10s and the 1s, and you can see here we've got 1 10 and then we've got 6 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So if we count on from 10, we've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So our whole number here would be our 16, and then you should have split it into the parts. So you've got your 10s and your 1s. So we've got 1 10 and 6 1s. Well done if you got that right. If not, I'm going to give you another chance to have another go. I want you now to have a go at the number 14. Pause your video and do the same again for me, please. Okay, so the way we're going to split our 14 into 10s and 1s again, we've got our 1 10 stick. We're going to count on using 1s, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we've got our 4 1s. You should have all had a go at the part whole model here. So we should have our number 14 at the top, and then we've got our 10 and our 4. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit trickier. I want you to think about the number 20, and you're thinking about the 10s and the 1s. I want you to first of all draw it with Dean's, and then I want you to have a go at doing it at the part whole model. To pause the video and have a go. Okay, so when we're looking at 20 and we're splitting it into 10s and 1s, How many 10s have we got? You should have seen that we have our 2 10s there. Okay, but we don't have any 1s. So the way that would look on our part whole model, we would have our 20 at the top. We would have 20 over here, but we don't have any 1s. Later on in our home learning journey, we're going to be looking at larger numbers, so numbers bigger than 20. So if you fancy a challenge and you want to have a little think, see if you can do the same as we've been doing today with the number 37. It would be really good if you could email in your answers to the Year 2 email. I want to see 37 drawn in Dean's and then in the part whole module.